All right, good morning and welcome to the 6th episode of the Recreational Critics Podcast. I'm your host, Jason, with my co-host, James.
Hello.
Hey, man, how's it going?
Not bad. How are you?
Good. So real quick, this is a podcast on streaming service-centric films where me and James give our unqualified opinions on a movie of the week, and this week being War Machine. It's in the title, so I'm sure you knew what it was. Real quick, we have a charity event we're hosting through our Patreon page. It's going to go to aid relief for those displaced from the coronavirus or COVID-19 pandemic going on right now. You have anything you want to add on that, James?
No, I don't.
Have you donated any money?
Not yet.
Okay.
You just told me about it yesterday,
Yeah.
so I haven't done it yet, but I plan to.
Was it only yesterday?
I believe so.
No, felt like longer. But we're going to talk about a lot of things here. So a weekly recap, some news on movies, and then going into this movie, War Machine. So in the bottom of the description, there will be timestamps if you'd like to skip ahead. What'd you do this week, man?
I hung out a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't do anything. There's nothing to do anymore.
I know. It's weird.
Yeah. There's no gym. There's no work. There's no nothing. I can't even get a haircut. I look like a hippie right now. I mean, you look normal.
Always the digs about the hair, man. It's brutal. I don't understand.
I want you to know, what's that meme? Know your place, trash. You know which meme I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just know your place.
Yeah. I don't think we need to be getting into genetic diversity discussions. I will tear you apart, Jason. I swear to God.
Come on now. There's no reason to treat me that way. What else have you been doing? We started a tabletop RPG thing with some friends.
We did.
I'm
not good at it.
You're getting there.
I don't know.
You're very awkward about it. You don't know how to respond to stuff.
It's true.
The DM or the GM is like, so how do you want to react to this? And you're like, I don't know. I just want to do this. All right, do it. I just did.
Yeah. Getting into character is difficult for me, but I feel like I designed a character that is very much modeled after my personality.
Yeah, just very like contempt kind of guy, like just laid back. You're basically sort of a Star Wars RPG, and you're a droid.
Yes. Who's
not very droidly at all. There's no technology, computers, nothing. He's just there to talk.
Yes. All of his basically his discussion traits are as high as I can get them right now, and he's basically as the GM described, a human lie detector test, and no combat skills whatsoever. You would feel more endangered if you gave him a weapon.
Right. We tried to. I mean, I robbed a blaster store, I guess.
10 minutes in, you robbed a store.
Did it work out for us in the end?
No. Fortunately, our GM basically swept it under the rug so that we could continue the campaign.
Yeah, I'm sure he was mad at me about that. Oh man, I didn't really do much this week. I just watched a lot of movies and sat at home.
I did as well.
We'll get into what movies we watched later.
Okay.
I had a segment for that at the very end. Going into news, so what I have here is some Netflix April 2020 releases. You ready to hear about this?
Let's do it.
All right, so Tiger Tail, which I think is already out.
Tiger Tail?
Have you not seen this one yet? It's about a guy.
King of the Tigers, right?
Okay, that's a different show then. Okay, so there's a show called Tiger Tail coming out in April.
Okay.
The main event, and another one called Coffee and Cream. These are Netflix original movies.
Okay.
Coming in April 2020, so maybe something for us.
Interesting.
All 4 Lethal Weapon movies.
Thank God.
Do you like the Lethal Weapon movies?
Yes, I do. Yeah, a lot.
They're good.
Yeah. I've got a pretty trademark Danny Glover impression.
Let me hear it.
Never.
Come on.
Not on this thing.
Yeah.
Nope.
You're very well known for your impressions.
I am.
And I want you to
So come seek me out if you want to hear the Danny Glover Lethal Weapon.
All right. Hopefully we get some requests in our email to do it, because then you gotta.
Yeah. If someone requests on social media specifically that I do Lethal Weapon Danny Glover, I will do it next week.
He also does a good Morgan Freeman.
Nah, I wouldn't call it good.
I like it. You do a very good George Bush.
That's one everybody knows before.
And you do a pretty good Rocky.
Yeah. I think Stallone's my best.
Yeah, Stallone's probably your best. Taxi Driver, Just Friends, Matrix Trilogy, and there's some other ones. I didn't feel like listing them all on here. But
Did you see the Matrix trilogy in theaters?
no.
How old were you when the second and third one came out?
So we're talking 2003, 2004. I was 9 and 10 years old.
So the first one was amazing. It changed the way movies were filmed and
Right.
everything. And then the second and third one came out. And I think they were a month apart.
Were they
Something
really?
Like that. It was very close release
That's
dates.
crazy.
So I went and saw the second one.
Mhm.
I was maybe, I guess I was 15 or 16 when
Right.
this came out. I saw both of them and I was just so disappointed.
Oh yeah. I don't like the third one at all. I like the second one.
See, I feel the opposite.
You like the third one over the second one?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't feel that way. I do like the first one a lot though.
Yeah.
If the first one was the only one,
It should have been.
I could have handled that. But now they have a fourth one coming out. It's actually got delayed. I mentioned that here as well
Hopefully it just stays that way.
for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm a true believer that franchises can just stop. They don't need to keep going. I hate when franchises, especially video games, start coming back after 10 years because I'm like, oh, you're about to ruin something you may have ended on a good note.
Sometimes it's worth it though, like Terminator 2.
How far was that franchise? Like that franchise,
Sometimes sequels are better.
right?
So I don't think people should be scared of it. I think that they should just
I'm not talking just sequels. I'm talking like reboots or sequels that
Okay.
come out like 10, 15 years
Yeah.
later.
Yeah, some of them are egregious, but
Yeah.
I
Definite cash grabs. I can't do.
Yeah.
So
hopefully Top Gun's done right. I hope it fits into the camp of really good sequels.
I'm a little bit worried, only because it's been 30 years since
Yeah.
the last one came out. I feel like it's going to fall into that category of you should have just left it alone.
I hope it's good.
So do I. I like Top Gun a lot. Another movie Netflix just started production on, or was going to start production on, now is halted due to coronavirus. It's called Dragon's Lair.
Okay.
Do you remember this game at all? It's an old arcade game from the 80s, and it was featured in Stranger Things. It's the video game the boys are playing in season 2.
Okay.
Do you remember that at all?
I don't.
It's like a guy fighting a dragon.
Season 2 was pretty rough, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It's really bad. Ryan Reynolds is going to star in this movie, so it's going to be about the video game.
So, What is Deadpool going to do in this movie?
Exactly. What is Deadpool going to do in this movie? That's it for, I think, movie news I had.
Okay.
Other things, the Senate aid package came out to help out small businesses, mostly
Yes.
just helping out big businesses and no people, but that's beside the point.
I would disagree with that.
Would you?
Yeah, I would.
So everything I'm reading is that it's only helping big corporations.
So, $1,200 per adult,
Mm-hmm.
$500 per kid.
Okay.
The thing that kind of screws over, I think, is like 16 and 17-year-old dependents. I don't think they get any money, but I don't think their parents get any money either.
Okay.
So that's one thing that I'm kind of confused on. But it's capped out at the certain salary ranges, which I feel like is fair.
Right.
Except, I don't know, in like the bigger cities where the salaries are a lot higher, I feel like those people could
is
use
that
the
taken
money.
into account?
Yeah, because you might be making 75, 80K in LA or New York City, but still living in a crappy apartment.
Mm-hmm. We're 70, 80K where we're at.
Right.
You're living pretty good.
Yeah, it's
Or you
a
could be
pretty good
living
life.
pretty good.
Yeah. So that's kind of weird, but I thought that they did a really good job of making sure there were regulations in it. I mean,
Right.
unfortunately, today, I think Trump said that he wasn't going to follow any of those, but I think the intent was set out with the bill, so respect to Congress.
Right. They got it out. I'm not going to say as quick as they could. There were some hiccups along the way, but they got it out, and that's what matters.
Yep.
Well,
originally, it was going to be a tax rebate for next year that you were going to get.
Right. But that wouldn't help anybody now.
Right. You were just going to get next year's money.
Mm-hmm.
But they ended up doing it as a straight stimulus package and just mailing. Well, we haven't done it yet, but
Right. We'll begin to mail checks.
yeah. So
I won't get one. Neither will you.
why not?
Well, do we get one? We
Yeah.
still have work.
Yeah.
Everyone gets one?
Yeah, everybody gets one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you fit into the bracket ranges, you get one.
I get a check?
Yes.
I'm going to go spend it now.
That's a bad idea because you probably won't get the money for a month.
All right. I have an idea. What I want. I'm going to go order it now. I'm bringing up Amazon as we speak.
Well, tell the listeners what it is now. Don't teaser trailer people.
It's going to be a solid state drive
Okay.
for my computer. I just always wanted.
So $1,700 you're going to buy a solid state drive?
Oh, a 17. I do have a kid.
Yeah, you do.
Oh my God. I'm going to buy 2. I'm kidding. I'm not going to spend that money yet. Besides that stimulus package, which is a great thing for people in this country, internet speeds have taken a toll during the quarantine.
God, have they ever.
So, not a good thing for this country. Complete opposite. That's because so streaming services, it takes a lot to stream.
Yes,
a lot
it does.
Of bandwidth. People at first were blaming video games, which take very little bandwidth comparatively, but it's definitely streaming services. So if you want to watch a Netflix movie,
it's also people teleworking and things like that.
Yep, there's a lot that goes into it, but streaming services take a lot.
Yes,
that's what most people right now not working are doing, just watching Netflix.
That's all we've been doing at my house.
Right, same here. That's all we've been doing. Europe has mandated YouTube and Netflix to downsize their files. I didn't know Europe had those kind of regulations on those services, but I guess they do. YouTube has then also pushed quality from HD to SD in Europe.
I think that's fine.
Right. You can watch a standard def video for a few weeks. Yeah. This whole thing blows over.
It's YouTube. It's not like they're busting Netflix down to 360.
Right. So it makes me wonder if Netflix is being busted down. I mean, they're obviously downsizing their files. So they must be busting down in some way, you know. But I wonder where that threshold stops.
I bet you it's 720.
720 is doable. But in this day and age, I have a 4K TV. I watch a lot of things on 4K.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I'd be like, oh,
it's
God.
not that big of a sacrifice, though.
No. I can just go do other things. Wonder Woman got a new release date as of August 14th, 2020.
Okay.
So, I guess I've just been so jaded to the Warner Brothers stuff, I forgot it was coming out this soon. Like,
Did you watch the trailer yet?
No.
Are you going to?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not. Gal Gadot is actually under fire this week.
Because her dumbass
video
Imagine song.
Yeah. Her and Will Ferrell was in it. Who else was in it?
There was a bunch of people.
Yeah. But yeah, she got under fire for that.
It was so ridiculous.
But then even John Lennon got under fire for that. The guy's been dead for 39 years.
I don't care about that part, but just like...
Why are you singing the song?
Yeah. It's like that I'm totally helping.
Right.
I'm doing so much good right now.
I am getting sick and tired of seeing the celebrity videos of how hard their lives are right now in quarantine.
Yeah, that's been going around Reddit quite a bit.
Right.
It's like, no, just stay home. If I can do it, you can. And they're sitting in like a $60 million mansion with tennis courts and pools. And
yeah. Will Smith, I saw one about him saying that. I'm like, you have the biggest house in the world, I think.
Yep.
It's crazy to me. I have our little outline that Senate relief bill again, but I already talked about that. And then earlier I did talk about the charity event sponsored on our Patreon. Links will be in the description. But other than that, you got any other news you have this week you want to add?
I don't. I mean, if we're going to talk about movies, which is pretty much all I've done this week at the end, then I'll save it for that.
Okay. Sweet. We'll get back to that then. War Machine was our movie starring Brad Pitt.
It was.
What'd you think?
So a lot of times when I'm disgusted with a movie, I'm disgusted with the way they shot it, like Six Underground,
right,
or the story writing, like Six Underground. But it's usually one of those two things. I don't often wonder why they made a movie. This one, I don't know why.
Yeah, and to what end? Why was this movie made?
Yeah,
there was no central plot, I thought, to this movie.
Who pitched this? Like, why did they want to make it? What story were they trying to tell? I don't have any answers to these questions.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, why? Just why? We talked about Brad Pitt being in this movie. What did you think of his performance?
There's nothing to even measure it against. Like, right. I think Brad Pitt is a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
And they took all the interesting things about Brad Pitt and they hamstrung it.
Oh yeah, really bad too.
Yeah, it almost makes me wonder if like Brad Pitt wanted to make this movie.
Like it was all his thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think he. I want to say I don't think he'd be that bad or whatever, but I make that bad of a decision. But he could.
So they treat it like a biography that you would see on, History Channel 20 years ago when it was still about history,
right?
Not about Pawn Stars.
Yeah. Storage
but it was like a biopic, but they changed a couple names around because it's actually about General Stanley McChrystal.
Okay.
But they changed his name in this, and then they changed Secretary Clinton's name.
Yeah,
And then left pretty much everybody else the same.
Right. And it's definitely Hillary Clinton.
Yep.
But not.
Right.
Yeah. It was bizarre. Director, his name is Michael McHugh. And I don't know why he directed this movie. Like, what it was.
Has he directed anything else?
I'm sure he has. Let's bring it up. Bringing it up. Who's Emery Cohen?
I have no idea.
That name? They talk about him in one of these articles that he was cast to be one of his staff members in a different film as well. Anyway, David McCullough, he's Australian film director. I'm sorry. He did The King. I don't remember
anything
that
we
one.
know.
The Rover, Animal Kingdom, War Machine.
So no.
No, I don't know any of these. I know none of these. TV shows he did was Catch-22. I don't know if you ever heard of that one. Nope. I have not. Yeah, I don't know this guy.
So it was shot well. I mean,
there was nothing like bad about the cinematography of it.
No.
I couldn't do with his acting, as I mentioned, Brad Pitt. So he has this weird twisted up face he does, this claw for a hand he makes every now and then.
Yes.
A really unconvincing accent.
Yes.
Comes and goes. Emery Cohen was his little mouse bitch.
Okay.
The one, Willie. He carried around his stuff for him.
All right.
Apparently he was cast in a different movie to play the same role. So he's been typecasted as a little bitch for this for this general. Yeah, so he's supposed to be this very like intelligent general.
Right.
And so the movie walks in with him like coming into Afghanistan to take over the war in Afghanistan, to lead all the troops.
Yes.
And he sounds like he has a plan. And he sounds like he's going to do it. That's what the movie makes you think at first. Like he has this very good plan. It's going to work, and he's a genius. And
that's the way they make it look.
Yeah.
Because they're so busy narrating.
Yep. The entire movie. The movie starts off with a 10-minute narration about who he is, who every one of his staffers are.
Right.
And for 10 minutes, that's what it is. You don't know who the fuck the narrator is either.
Nope.
You finally meet him. He's a Rolling Stones journalist, author, whatever, columnist. You meet about an hour and 10 minutes into the film, and then you don't see him again for a while to the very end, where he writes his biopic or whatever you want to call it. Yeah,
his article that gets Stanley McChrystal fired.
Yeah.
You know that whatever his name was in the movie was the journalist's real name?
Yeah, Steve McBraney or whatever.
Something like that, but it's actually the guy who wrote the article that...
Okay. Yeah. It's pretty cool. They use his real name, but they won't use anyone else's.
Yeah, it's weird.
Stupid. This movie was $60 million budget. I bet you most of it went to Brad Pitt.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I mean, it was filmed in the desert. They could have done that anywhere.
Nevada.
Yeah.
Arizona.
Yep, that's where Transformers filmed a lot of their stuff.
Right. Ben Kingsley is in this movie.
Yes, he plays the Afghani president. President
Karzai.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he did a really good job.
I don't know anything about Hamid Karzai, so maybe he did, maybe he didn't.
No, I don't mean like he did a really good job for Karzai, because I don't know Karzai very well either.
Yeah.
But he did Ben Kingsley.
Yeah.
And I always like Ben Kingsley, so it's like, all right, that's convincing. He's like, fuck it this, fuck it that.
Name's Trevor.
That's a different movie.
I know.
Where he's playing a leader in the desert.
Yes.
I would have liked that at one point if he just went... Because he acts like he's a president who doesn't want to be a president. Because he was obviously put there by the Americans.
He's a president who feels like he has no power.
Right, because Americans are there.
Yes.
With all their rules and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, he wasn't very involved in this country's security. He didn't give a shit very much. I did like the part about Blu-ray player. He's like, remember back in the day when they had the yellow, white, and red cord? Now we just have this one. I don't know what to do with it.
Yep. Funny thing is, on an HDMI cord, there's only one spot.
Right, but his TV was...
Oh, that's right. He said at the very end he needs a new TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He couldn't find it on his TV.
That was a pretty funny introduction.
It was. God, I can't... Tilda Swinton's in this movie, too. She's a reporter in Germany, or senator.
Or was she?
Yeah, she's the one that was questioning him the entire time. Like, oh shit, that's Tilda Swinton.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I was like, that's pretty good. Little cameo there. So yeah, this general comes in to Afghanistan to take over the war, and he's supposed to give a recommendation on what to happen. But what President Obama wants, is just tell us everything's going fine and we can leave. But he comes in there, he's like, no, everything's not fine. It's being run like a shit show. I need X thousands more troops, 40,000 more troops.
He's convinced that he can win the war against
Al-Qaeda.
Insert bad guy in Afghanistan. And everybody else is convinced that it's unwinnable. Yep.
And he comes off very super charismatic. People love him. He likes to go meet with people. He likes to go see all the troops.
You think he came off as charismatic?
I think so.
I think people treated him like the smartest guy in the room, but I thought he was like socially broken.
Is he socially awkward? Yeah.
Yeah. I thought he was the opposite of charismatic.
But I thought he was charismatic to his troops. Like, he knew how to talk to them.
It didn't seem like that they were buying in ever, though.
The Marines weren't.
No.
That's what I was going to get on, was the Marines. He goes to visit like a camp of Marines who basically tell him this whole thing's fucked.
Yep.
I just want to go home. This thing's a waste of our time. Why are we here?
Yep.
And then you fast forward to a battle later, the only battle conflict that you see in this entire movie. And it's that same camp of Marines.
Yeah, they start a new campaign under, what was Brad Pitt's name in this movie?
McMahon.
Oh, yeah, under General McMahon's plan.
Mm-hmm.
And
Vince McMahon. He walks like him, too.
You might have beat me to it. But they go to a new battle under his direction, and they get into a skirmish.
Mm-hmm.
One of the Marines who was basically asking McMahon a lot of questions ends up using his grenade launcher on a rooftop across the town.
Yep.
Ends up killing some civilians.
Yeah. He's pretty bummed out about it. Yeah. He goes full Rambo at one point, too, which I thought was very weird.
Yeah.
They're hunkered down in a compound. He goes, you know what? Fuck this. And he just starts walking through this village, killing, the enemy.
Yep.
It's like, man, that's not real.
Yeah.
None of that is real. It's really badly done. And then the general just shows up to that battle.
But that section of the movie didn't fit any of the rest of the storyline.
No. Because the whole story is him just trying to get his troops.
Yes.
It's more of a political movie.
Yeah.
And they cut to a battle scene 20 minutes before the movie ends.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just so out of place. So he travels to Europe to get more troops. So he gets his troops from America. He gets
like 80% of his troops.
Yeah, he finally convinces the president, hey, give me my troops. And he gets them.
He leaks a memo.
Right. He leaks an assessment.
Yes.
Yeah. So he gets 30,000 of his 40,000 he asked for, but he really wanted 80, but he only asked for 40 or some shit like that.
He got 30 of 40.
Yeah.
And they told him to get the other 10 from NATO.
Yep. And so he goes to NATO to convince them. You get this weird thing about a tour bus and drinking and going country to country.
Well, at the time, that volcano in Iceland was going off, and so it stopped a lot of air travel in Europe.
So it's just a weird little side adventure.
Yes.
He went on with his his staff. His tech guy was there for some reason. His
whole squad.
His PA guy, his civilian PA guy.
Yep.
It was just weird to me, the people that he had. And then you meet his wife, because his wife comes along too for some reason. So she meets them in France, and they have the most awkward interactions in the entire movie.
So this movie's based on General Stanley McChrystal, like we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
His actual wife is not some meek, weird lady.
Right.
She's a completely normal person, so I don't know
what they were going for.
Again, I don't know what they were trying to do in this movie.
Yeah, it's so out of place. This whole movie was. In the very end, he gets fired.
Yep.
And then they move on to a new general, and then the movie ends.
Yep.
And so
Who's the new general?
I don't know.
Did you see?
No.
It was Russell Crowe.
That was not Russell Crowe.
Yeah, it was.
Was it really?
Yeah.
You didn't even recognize him.
Yep, it was.
What? I don't believe you. I'm going to look it up.
Well, now I'm doubting. I'm 95% sure it was Russell Crowe.
I would think Kurt Russell, if anything.
Well, it definitely wasn't Kurt Russell. Just because they share a name doesn't mean that they look alike.
You know what? It says War Machine right here, and it says Bob. This might be it. Fuck. That's actually Russell Crowe. Well, I'll be damned. Okay. You win.
I would know Gladiator anywhere.
You know, that's another movie I want to go watch. That is Russell Crowe. Didn't even recognize him with his haircut like that.
Yep, snuck him in at the very end of the movie.
They did a really good job of that. They got me.
Do you have any parts of this movie that you liked?
I like Topher Grace a lot.
Yeah.
In this movie. And
it's basically all Topher Grace's fault.
Yeah.
That McMahon got fired.
Right, because he's this civilian PR guy,
mm-hmm.
and he has these like wild ideas that McMahon
mm-hmm.
falls for, basically.
Yep.
And just gets him in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
But I did like him. Like, I liked his character in it. Like, he was pretty consistent. And, but besides parts of this movie I didn't like anything. I probably liked the meetings with Karzai the most.
Yeah. There was one scene where he's at a banquet dinner, and a guy there who's basically just trying to rub elbows with the general switches an Afghani liaison's name.
Yeah, on the table.
Yeah, with his, so he can sit next to General McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens to be an Afghanistan banquet dinner.
Right.
And then...
in honor of the war in Afghanistan.
Yes. And then Brad Pitt, General McMahon, rips this guy a new asshole.
Right.
And it's my favorite part of the whole movie.
Right, because he's like, hey, where's Hamid? Like, where's our buddy?
Yeah.
Body. Yeah, he's like, where's Body? And he's like, oh, actually, sir, I switched his thing so I could talk to
I thought it would be better.
Yeah. And he went, are you fucking serious? This dinner is in honor of an Afghanistan war, and we don't have a fucking Afghani at our table? Get the hell out of here and get him back here. And as the guy walks away and the body's coming back, there is an Afghani at the table sitting right across from him.
Yes.
So
the Afghanistan ambassador was there.
So one of his chiefs are like, hey, man, there's this guy right here.
I'm pretty sure he's Afghani. And Brad Pitt just kind of nods like, that's my bad.
And the body comes back like, what's going on?
You don't really need any context for this scene, so if you just YouTube it, it's on there.
Yeah,
I promise. But
it's probably Brad Pitt's only really good performance in that entire movie.
Yeah, it was solid. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. So we talk about Brad Pitt's bad acting.
I didn't
like it. I didn't like it. I know you have nothing to measure it against.
Yeah.
But for Brad Pitt,
I don't think it's bad acting. I think that's what he was going for. So I think he did a good job.
I was bored by it.
Yeah. Oh, the movie was dreadful.
Right. 10-minute narration in the beginning. All the whole movie is narrated all the time. It keeps coming and going.
Yes.
And you don't get it. You don't get why it's being narrated the entire time. They're narrating what just got told.
Yep.
And I was like, I got that. They just fucking said this is happening, and now you're narrating to me what's happening. And then you find out it's a Rolling Stone reporter.
And it's not like he's revealing information that you can't deduce.
Right. Yeah, it was so just... I hated it. There's no plot. There's no really good plot, I should say. The interaction with his wife was just odd. They wouldn't hug or kiss or anything. It's like, are they on the brink of divorce? And then it was just bizarre. And then
she said she'd seen him 30 total days in the last 8 years.
Right.
I think it was 8 years.
Something like that. And he was like, okay. And she went, that's it.
No, I was just saying.
And I was like, what the fuck is this all about?
Yep.
The ending was out of just, hey, he's fired, and his staff is crying because he's leaving or whatever. So I was more mad that
he was their meal ticket.
Right. Exactly. I know he was. But he leaves Afghanistan. They all just kind of stay there. And so I just wonder what happened to them after he got fired, because he was leaving to get canned.
Oh, yeah. And he knew.
Yeah. So they probably all got canned and put up a different assignment somewhere else.
Yep.
So at the very end of it, they bring in the new General Bob,
Russell
Crowe, and then the movie ends.
That's a movie I'd like to see.
The Russell Crowe Bob one?
Yep.
Because you'd be better at it?
I don't know. I was just way more intrigued by that than I was.
So you're way more intrigued with him walking through the airport. Because then the narrator goes, and just like that, he was gone. So what do we do next? We hire in the next guy, Bob. And you see General Russell Crowe walking down the airport terminal.
Yep. With the same limp. I don't know why.
Why do they all have limps?
Why do they have limps? Because...
you can't be a 4-star if you don't have a limp.
Well, They were talking about how Brad Pitt ran like 14 miles every day.
And he had a limp. 7
Yeah.
miles. 7 miles a day, every morning.
I thought it was 7 in the morning, 7 in the evening. It doesn't matter. At
Yeah.
least 7 miles.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe limps just look badass.
How else are you going to be a war hero if you don't have a limp?
Yeah.
I wouldn't believe you a war hero if you didn't have a limp. Oh, yeah? Show me your limp, buddy. I have a Purple Heart right here. Where's the limp?
Well, I got hit in the arm. We better start limping.
You better start limping. I just thought this movie was a waste of time, and I give it a 3 out of 10.
I think I'm going 2 out of 10
Okay.
with this one.
Yeah. It's a bad movie. I don't recommend it to anyone. Even if you're a war movie fan, even if you're a Brad Pitt fan, I
You
would
could
not
be like
recommend this movie.
a Stanley McChrystal nerd, and you still wouldn't get anything out of this movie.
Right. I mean, there's got to be nerds for Stanley McChrystal out there.
Maybe.
They'd be on the History Channel watching this movie.
Now they'll be watching Pawn Stars.
That's true. History Channel has become a joke in the last 20 years.
Yeah. Ancient Aliens. Go fuck yourself.
I can't believe how many alien shows they have.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I tried to watch History Channel one time for actual history. I didn't get any history.
You made
out
a
of
mistake.
It. Yeah. South Park's parody of it is pretty spot on.
I haven't seen it.
You should. It's basically their parody on the Thor movie. And
Okay.
History Channel. And it's about the history of Thanksgiving. And it's pilgrims and Indians, but they're both aliens that come to Earth to meet. And then Thor comes down, but Thor's some pilgrim guy.
Okay.
Natalie Portman's still in it. It's good. No, it's so good. I'll send it to you later. I think you gotta watch.
Do you know how
it.
many full episodes of South Park I've watched?
You know how you want to watch Office?
Yep.
I'm gonna get you to watch South Park.
Nope.
Why not? So good.
The answer is 0 for anybody who is wondering.
Can you at least watch this one for me?
Why?
It's really good. I think you would like it.
Oh,
I think you would like it.
Okay.
We are best
maybe,
friends,
Maybe.
and I think
Maybe
you
I'll
would
give
like
it a shot.
Okay. That's it for that movie then. That's all I got for War Machine. You got anything else you want to add?
You think there's anything they could have done to make it better?
If you made it a fictional movie, like a what if?
Or gone the other way and made it a full-on, nonfiction movie.
Right. Based on a general who comes over and takes over the war in Afghanistan.
Yeah, and had Brad Pitt give his best Stanley McChrystal.
Yeah.
Because Stanley McChrystal doesn't talk like Brad Pitt did.
That's what I was so confused about.
Have you seen Sling Blade?
Uh-uh.
Anybody who has knows the voice that I'm talking about. It's this real gravelly type voice.
Yeah. It reminded me a lot.
That's how he talked the entire movie.
It reminded me a lot of his Lieutenant Aldo Rain accent from Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah,
And then I went back and watched Inglourious Bastards this morning, and that was not the case. It was not the same. I was like, oh, kind of sound like that, but
Maybe Brad Pitt just shouldn't do accents.
he should just be Brad Pitt.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. I think, a totally fictional movie about a general coming into a war that's, managed like shit,
Yeah.
taking over and maybe turning it into something better.
Maybe.
I would watch that. Because he only has one occupation or one operation he throws, and it goes to shit.
Yep.
And you don't really see how it goes to shit. Like, an operation like that wouldn't just go to shit in one day.
I mean, it might.
But it wasn't even that bad what happened. Like, so he comes in like, we shouldn't kill civilians. That's not what we're here to do. And then, what was it? One civilian got killed by accident.
I think so.
And he's like, whole operation's blown. Like, it's really not. These kind of operations, especially for an 8-year war, take a long time. And you're over here like 2 hours into your operation going, we fucked it up.
The funny thing is when he's talking to the Marines, he's talking about how not killing people is going to be what eventually wins them the war.
Right.
And then the first thing he wants to do is launch an offensive into the Helmand province.
Yeah. He's like, we're going to take over this entire giant province.
Which is going to be a hellacious struggle.
Yeah. So we don't see why you want to do this. Let's just do it.
Yeah. Because everybody thinks we can't. That's why we should do it.
Right. And you have their one expert who's been in country for God knows how long. And he's like, sir, we shouldn't do this. Shut the fuck up. Back up. Stop talking to me.
Tilda Swinton's character, I felt, had the most revealing comment in the entire movie. He's like, I think that, this is the pinnacle of your career, and your ego is leading you.
Yep.
And
you felt like there was going to be like a character development right there.
Nope.
And then he goes back to Afghanistan and everything's back to...
He thought about it on the
normal.
bus ride and then buried it.
You went, that bitch didn't know what the fuck she was talking about.
Yeah. They made a comment like that in the movie.
They did, actually. His general buddy that was there was like, hey, she's just a nobody that no one likes in that community.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, it turns out she's stupid.
Yeah. All right, got it. I'll keep doing what I'm doing then. What movies you watch this week?
I watched more of The Office. I watched Black Panther.
You don't have to tell me you watch The Office. Everyone knows. Everyone's watching The Office.
It's true. It's coming off Netflix next year. I got to get my.
They say that
in.
every month. They're like, or every few months.
Well, I know it's going to NBC in 21.
Right, but they've been saying that for years now, and I'll believe it when I see it.
One day it's just going to be gone, and I'm not buying NBC's streaming service.
I'm gonna just start torrenting the entire 9 seasons.
Yeah. Solid tactic.
Yeah. I hope Cox isn't listening.
What you do is you make it available offline and then put your phone on airplane mode where they can't remove it.
Forever.
Yeah. Then you've always got The Office. That probably won't work. There's probably people cringing. But hell,
These
man.
idiots
give
don't
it a
know
shot.
what the hell they're talking about.
What is this idiot talking about?
So you watched
Black Panther.
Black Panther, yep.
Today I watched Kung Fu Panda 1 and 2 with my kids.
Okay.
Maybe I watched more of it than my kids did, but...
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. My daughter turns on something, and she's distracted within 5 minutes.
Dude, I was invested.
And I'm sitting there like, okay. What is Scooby-Doo doing?
I haven't seen Kung Fu Panda 2,
yeah.
and so I was bought in.
Was it pretty good?
It wasn't bad.
Nice. I gotta
I was
watch
pleasantly surprised. Usually, kid movie sequels are terrible.
Right.
You
Yeah.
ever seen Aladdin 2?
Yeah, The Return of Jafar?
Yeah.
Awful.
Oh, it's bad.
Little
buddy.
Mermaid 2? That daughter Ariel?
Yeah.
Terrible.
Dude, the animation, it's
Yeah,
like one person did it.
Yeah, they don't keep up at all.
No.
They're not up to par with
Yeah,
their...
mentioning Aladdin 2, we watched that this week.
Oh, man. VHS or Disney Plus?
Disney Plus, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the movie when I was a kid, and I didn't remember it being a huge difference.
Yeah.
And then I found out that Robin Williams didn't do the second one.
Yeah, because a lot of times they get different voice actors.
Yeah.
And that's when you really, as an adult, you're like, oh, this is dumb.
Yeah. So, a lot of kids' movies this week.
Yeah, I didn't watch a whole lot of kids' movies. I watched Scooby-Doo a lot.
Yeah.
There's this new Scooby-Doo called Mystery Incorporated on Netflix.
Okay.
It's really bad. It's all about like Velma and Shaggy being in love and Daphne trying to get Fred's attention.
I think I've seen a couple episodes of that one.
And it's like super cringy.
Yeah. Talks about Fred's ascots a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the first 3 or 4 episodes of it.
It's not good.
Dude, do you remember when there used to be cameos and stuff on Scooby-Doo?
Batman would show up with
Harlem
the
Globetrotters.
The Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah, those were the days.
Yeah. Now it's all shit.
Honestly, like, I haven't seen him in, probably 25 years. I feel like those were the best cartoons of all time. Was that era of Scooby-Doo.
The Hanna-Barbera 60s cartoons? Yeah. That's Hanna-Barbera, right?
I think so.
I think so.
I think so. Just the cameo era of Scooby-Doo.
Where you have different, like the Johnny Quest, or not Johnny, what's the name of that show?
I'm not talking about cartoons in general. I'm talking about specifically Scooby-Doo.
Well, right, but those guys are making an appearance too.
Oh.
I can't think of the name of the show right now. It's like the little boy and the guy that looks like Mike Pence and the little boy with the turban. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
I'll find it.
The guy that looks like Mike Pence.
Johnny Quest. Did you ever watch Johnny Quest? I got it up on my laptop right here.
Oh my God. He does look like Mike Pence.
You never seen that before?
I mean, I've seen Johnny Quest, but not in a long time. Holy smokes, man.
I just blew your mind.
I don't even know what to say right now.
Yep.
You should put that picture on the Facebook.
Okay. Yeah. I'll do that. I'll keep a note of that.
Yeah.
I've watched Jerry Maguire this week.
Fantastic movie.
Movie's terrible. Watch it again.
Are you serious?
Watch it again. Watch it again.
Is it really that bad?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Why is it that bad?
Tom Cruise is terrible in it.
I thought he was fantastic.
Cuba Gooding Jr. is terrible in it. Renee Zellweger, whatever her name is.
Mm-hmm.
She's terrible in it. Go back and watch this movie.
Okay.
I was so just like, oh yeah, I love this movie. I haven't seen this movie in like 14 years.
What makes it bad?
So Tom Cruise's performance is just all over the place.
Okay.
He's like the super calm, collective guy at points, and then he starts just like punching walls for no reason and kicking shit. And Cuba Gooding is just a loudmouth I can't stand.
I mean, he's playing that character though.
Right, but I didn't think he did it very, because like he's a loudmouth at points. He's very like, he has a lot of perspective on the world at the same time. But then he goes back to being a complete fucking buffoon jackass, like 2 minutes later.
Yeah.
And then he provides advice and perspective like 2 minutes later again.
Okay.
And you're like, what the fuck is this character? I want to hear your opinion on it.
Okay.
After you watch it.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Infinity War, we watched that one again.
I did too.
I watched a few other things. Dark Knight, Interstellar, Inglourious Bastards, Ghost of Girlfriend's Past.
I watched the first half of Interstellar this week.
Yeah. You didn't finish it?
I just didn't have time.
You told me you were.
I know. I didn't have time.
That's disappointing. Tom Segura's new stand-up came out.
Yeah, it's the one that we went to.
I was going to say that. So we went to see Tom Segura back in September, maybe?
August or September.
And so me and Naomi are watching the stand-up. 30 minutes go by, and I'm like, I've heard this joke.
Mm-hmm.
Why have I heard this joke? And she said, these are all the ones that he told us when he came here to Wichita. And I was like, what?
Yep.
And at that, I'm like, oh, he must practice they must practice their shit all year long and then film a special.
Yeah, usually they do a certain amount of time on the road with a set, and then once they have it mastered, they go ahead and record it.
Right. And I was like, okay, because Naomi, at that point, he set up a joke, and she said, watch, he's going to say this now. And he did. I'm like, you're right. These are all the jokes that we had. Did you end up watching it again?
I watched the first half. I watched a lot of halves of movies this week.
Right. Couldn't commit.
No, I couldn't. Yeah, I recognized quite a bit of the material.
Yeah. At which point you probably just turned it off and went, all right, I've seen this.
It wasn't any like funnier sitting there and watching it in my house. Right. So I kind of just turned it off.
Yeah, I didn't have the stomach hurting laughter I did when we went and saw him.
Man, some of his earlier specials, this is the hardest I've ever laughed.
Oh, he's so funny.
He's still my favorite stand-up comedian right now. Him and Patton Oswalt. Patton Oswalt is my forever favorite.
Him and Bill Burr.
Bill Burr wears on me.
Does he?
Yeah.
I love him.
I like a lot of his comedy, but I don't necessarily care for him as a person.
Okay. Is that because he's kind of an asshole?
He's just grating, man. And he talks about like we do.
Yeah.
It's like, I have no reason to make this opinion, but this is the way I feel.
Right.
And then I'm just like, you're so goddamn wrong. Like, Google anything that you're talking about.
He always says he doesn't.
I know. But he's just spouting off his opinion. And then other people are like, oh yeah, this is the way it is. I just can't stand it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you should listen to his podcast. It's pretty funny.
I do. I have. And that's what made me not like his comedy.
I like it because I like when people write to his show like, you're an idiot. And he goes, yeah, I know I am. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And so I'm really conflicted on it.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. I want to watch Campaign. I made a quote about the Campaign movie today.
The one with Zach Galifianakis?
Yeah, and Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to watch that. I watched Dinner for Schmucks too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
I've never seen The Campaign.
It's pretty good.
But I do this like Southern voice a lot at work, and everybody says that's exactly like Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah,
in that movie.
He's a very Southern boy or whatever.
Yep.
I quote it a lot. Yeah. And today, eating breakfast, girlfriend's like, God, this kitchen's a mess. And I'm like, it's a mess. Get your brooms. That's one of Zach Galifianakis' like quote.
Is that on a streaming service?
I don't know. Might not be. But you should watch it if you get a chance to.
Okay.
Next week's movie, we're going to do Red Sea Diving Resort. Right?
I don't know much about this movie.
I don't know.
I know it's got Captain America in it.
Yeah, Captain America, and it's got a guy I've seen in other movies before.
Yeah.
You told me about this movie 5 minutes before we started recording?
Yeah, I was kind of looking into it because I don't like making split-second decisions while we're sitting here.
Yeah, and so we did make one.
Yeah.
And we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Red Sea Diving Resort. That's next week's episode. So stay tuned next week for that. You got anything else you want to add?
if you have seen Red Sea Diving Resort, tell us what you think before we get to Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because I'm probably going to watch it somewhere around then. But tell us what we're in for.
Yeah, tell us if it's good. Tell us if it's bad. If it's bad.
It's supposed to be really bad.
Great.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Good. I spent all week watching good movies.
Yeah.
So that way when I watch these terrible movies for this show, I'm not like just dragging my feet all the way through. That makes sense?
Yeah.
I don't want to watch terrible movie after terrible movie after terrible movie. So I just want to watch like good movies in between every now and then. So that's why I'm watching like Interstellar and Dark Knight and shit I like. And then watching these like War Machines and Six Undergrounds, because that way I don't burn myself out of movies. But yeah, that's all I have. That's all that James has. Is that all you have?
I think I'm good.
Okay. So thank you for listening to the show. Please leave a like, follow, sub, or whatever. Show the love. Check out our Patreon for our charity event we mentioned earlier. The links are in the description. And follow us on Facebook and Twitter at RexCriticsPod. And give us an email at recreationalcritics@gmail.com. Have a good one, everyone.
Have a good one, guys.